Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says perpetrators of the Pahalgam terror attack would be punished beyond their imagination. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh chairs an all-party meeting on the Pahalgam attack. Home and External Affairs Ministers attended. And the Foreign Secretary briefs the ambassadors and high commissioners of the P5 and other countries on the terror attack. Sending a strong message, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has vowed that India will identify, track and punish every terrorist and their backers. In his first public address after the Pahalgam terror attack, he said those behind Pahalgam terror attack and those part of the conspiracy will be punished beyond their imagination. He added that India's spirit will never be broken by terrorism and that terrorism will not go unpunished.
From the soil of Bihar, I say to the whole world, India will identify, track and punish every terrorist and their backers. We will pursue them to the ends of the earth. India's spirit will never be broken by terrorism. Terrorism will not go unpunished. Every effort will be made to ensure that justice is done. The entire nation is firm in this resolve. Everyone who believes in humanity is with us. I thank the people of various countries and their leaders who have stood with us in these times.
The government has called an all-party meeting in the aftermath of the Pahalgam terror attack. Held at the Parliament House complex, the meeting is being chaired by Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, with Home Minister Amit Shah briefing opposition leaders on the security situation. A 2-minute silence was observed during the meeting to honour the innocent lives lost in the Pahalgam terror attack. Key attendees included Amit Shah, S. Jaishankar, Kiren Rijiju, Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge and Leader of the Opposition Rahul Gandhi. Leaders from parties such as the Congress, Samajwadi Party, the AAP, DMK, BJD, NCP, Shiva Sena, TMC, TDP, RJD and the YSR Congress were present. And joining me for more on the all-party meeting is my colleague Dibyendu Mondal. Dibyendu, tell us more about the all-party meeting. Is it still on?
Well, Ramesh, yes, the all-party meeting is still underway in the national capital in the Parliament Annexi complex, where all the political parties from different political ideologies from different parts of the country have gathered.
I'm afraid we've lost that link with Dibyendu. We'll try to reconnect with him.
Here in New Delhi, recent attacks that happened in Pahalgam that took away the lives of kids.
We'll try to fix that link with Dibyendu in a moment. Dibyendu, if you can hear me, we lost that link with you moments ago. Could you talk us again about the meeting? Is it still on?
Well, Ramesh, yes, as we speak, the all-party meeting is underway in New Delhi, in the Parliament Annexy complex here in the national capital. And this meeting is being chaired by Defense Minister Rajnath Singh. Some of the attendees from the government side is Union Home Minister Amit Shah, Foreign Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar, Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiran Rijiju, amongst others. From the opposition side, we have the Trinamool Congress, the All India National Congress, from which we have the LOP Rahul Gandhi, who is the leader of opposition in the Lok Sabha. We also have Mallikarjun Kharge, who is the leader of the opposition in the Rajya Sabha, as well as the national president of the Congress are all present in this meeting. Here, Amit, and Pahalgam, where this gruesome, heinous attack took place, which took away the lives of 26 innocent people. He was there present in Srinagar, had meetings with the security personnel, as well as the Lieutenant Governor General of Jammu and Kashmir, as well as the other top dignitaries and officers of the intelligence, as well as from the police and the paramilitary in Jammu and Kashmir. And he will be debriefing the actions that the government has taken over the last couple of days after the attack on these 26 innocent lives, as to what actions that the government has taken so far. All the party leaders that have gathered at the Parliament Annexy complex will be briefed about the actions that the government has taken, and also about the intelligence inputs, if any, the government has, will be shared with all the party members of the parliament. And also the foreign minister will be sharing on the diplomatic front what steps that the government of India has taken in order to teach Pakistan a lesson, or for that matter, as a deterrence to Pakistan, who has been exporting terror to India over the last many decades now. And therefore, this all-party meeting is in fact a step towards showing to the world and also to Pakistan that keeping all our ideological differences of different political parties, when a time like this comes, that India is united, India is together in this, and keeping aside all their political ideologies as well as their political differences, that the country is united and is speaking in one voice, condemning the terror attack, and India has vowed also to take the strictest of measures and actions to ensure that such terror acts are never ever perpetrated again on the soil of India. And therefore, and also, Ramesh, this meeting is expected to go on till quite some time. Also because of the fact that, all the party members, what we are picking up from the Ministry of Parliamentary Affairs is that will be given a chance to speak and put up their points as to, and also will be allowed to give their suggestion to the government as to what steps further could be taken to ensure the safety and security of India, and also to protect the integrity and sovereignty of India. And therefore, we can expect this meeting, which has already been more than an hour and 15 minutes now that the meeting has convened. It is expected to go on for a little more time from now, and we can expect probably an outcome of what happened in the meeting, and if there was an unanimous resolution that perhaps could be passed by all the party leaders that have gathered at the Parliament Annexy to discuss on the issue of this gruesome terror attack that killed 26 innocent people in India.
Indeed, as my colleague Debendra is reporting there, the meeting is still on, the all-party meeting, and Home Minister has briefed the all-party meeting attendees on the situation in Jammu and Kashmir, and Foreign Minister Subramaniam Jaishankar has briefed the parties on the diplomatic efforts being made by India in the aftermath of that attack. And we are standing by, as Debendra says, for a possible resolution towards the end of that very crucial all-party meeting. Debendra, thank you. Appreciate it. Moving on, a resolution was passed at the all-party meeting held in Srinagar, unanimously condemning the brutal killings of the innocent tourists in Pahalgam. Endorsing the steps taken by the government against Pakistan, members cutting across political affiliations sought justice for those killed in the attack. The issue of the safety and security of Kashmiri students was also raised at the meeting. An appeal was also made to all state governments to ensure the safety of the Kashmiri students studying in different parts of the country. The 3-hour-long meeting was called by Chief Minister Omar Abdullah. In New Delhi, Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri briefed the ambassadors of various missions in India on the current developments related to the terror attack. Diplomats of the US, the UK, EU, Italy, Qatar, China, Japan, Russia, the UAE, Bahrain and Germany besides France among those who were briefed on the Pahalgam terror attack. Earlier, French Minister François-Noël Buffet condemned the Pahalgam attack. He stressed the strong India-France relationship and matters concerning the Rafale deal.
I would like to say on behalf that we would like to express our sadness and our anger and also our solidarity in the face of this incident that has occurred. And it's in incidents like these that we need to express our solidarity and be together as nations to fight against terrorism. And I'd also like to send a thought out to the people who had lost their lives. And I'd like to say that we'll not let the people who did this go without any punishment. We'll fight against them together. We just have to say that this process is already established and we are very happy, and the arrival of the Rafale would not take a lot of time from now on.
Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu called Prime Minister Modi and expressed solidarity with the people of India. MEA spokesperson Randhir Jaiswal wrote on X, and I quote, PM Netanyahu of Israel called PM Narendra Modi and strongly condemned the terror attack on Indian soil. He expressed solidarity with the people of India and the families of the victims. PM Modi shared the barbaric nature of the cross-border terrorist attack and reiterated India's firm resolve to bring the perpetrators and their supporters to justice. Japan's Prime Minister Ishiba Shigeru also called Prime Minister Modi on Thursday and expressed his deepest condolences at the loss of lives in the terror attack in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. He said terrorism cannot be justified. Both leaders emphasized that terrorism is a grave threat to humanity. Those who believe in democracy should stand united in the fight against terror. The Prime Minister shared assessment of the cross-border terror attack and India's resolve to deal with it firmly and decisively. President Draupadi Murmu was briefed by External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar and Home Minister Amit Shah on the Pahalgam terror attack and India's diplomatic steps against Pakistan. In continuation of the decisions made by the Cabinet Committee on Security in the wake of the Pahalgam terror attack, the Indian government has decided to suspend visa services to Pakistani nationals with immediate effect. All existing valid visas issued by India to Pakistani nationals stand revoked with effect from 27th April 2025. Medical visas issued to Pakistani nationals will be valid only till 29th of April. All Pakistani nationals currently in India must leave India before the expiry of visas as now amended. Indian nationals are strongly advised to avoid travelling to Pakistan. Those Indian nationals currently in Pakistan are also advised to return to India at the earliest. On Wednesday, India revoked all visas to Pakistani citizens granted under SAARC countries' visa scheme. And apart from big decisions regarding visas, India earlier took significant decisions recognizing the seriousness of the terrorist attack. The Indus Waters Treaty of 1960 is being held in abeyance until Pakistan credibly and irrevocably abjures its support for cross-border terrorism. Further, the integrated checkpost Atari has been closed, while military advisors to Pakistan High Commission have been declared persona non grata, and officials at the Indian High Commission at Islamabad will be reduced from 55 to 30. Besides these decisions, India also decided to keep Indus Waters Treaty in abeyance until, as I mentioned before, Pakistan credibly and irrevocably abjures its support for cross-border terror. Now, the treaty, which is one of the most comprehensive water-sharing agreements around the world, gives control over the waters of the three eastern rivers, the Beas, Ravi and Satluj. India can stop sharing flood data on the rivers, and it could prove detrimental to Pakistan. Looking at the impact on agriculture, Pakistan's crop will face major water shortage. The Indus water is vital for wheat, rice, cotton cultivation. India has gained an edge in basmati exports. The cotton output drop can hit the textiles. Punjab farmers in India will be benefited as the canal irrigation will give a big boost to Indian farmers. If we see in terms of drinking water, Indus remains a key source for Pakistan's drinking water. Islamabad will face a 30% water shortage after this announcement. India can also hold glacier water till September, while Punjab Sindh water feud may intensify. In the sector of hydropower and energy, power plants are at risk because of water cuts. Tarbela Dam has only 30 feet of water. The load-shedding threat remains across Pakistani cities, while Pakistan may need costly coal imports. The abeyance in the Waters Treaty can cause internal instability as water, food, power crisis fuel discontent and can trigger public unrest because of the economic distress. Pakistan is likely to raise the issue globally as the treaty suspension hits regional water politics. In the longer run, food security remains at risk for millions. Urban unrest is likely as taps run dry. The power outages could cripple key industries and result in rural migration and job losses. The Indian Army Chief General Upendra Dwivedi will visit Srinagar tomorrow to review the security situation there in the wake of the Pahalgam terror attack. Top commanders of the local military formations will brief him on the counter-terrorist measures taken by the force in the valley and along the line of control. The 15 Corps commander and other Rashtriya Rifles formation commanders would be present for the visit. Still to come on DD India Live. A European perspective on the European Commission fining US tech giants Apple and Meta for violating EU laws.
Geopolitics and trade deals. Economic challenges amid development. Hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy, always. Between walkers, money is what money does and says. Supply creates its own demand. Between the bulls pulls and bears tears. When supply chains globalization and India rises to the podium. We'll get you centered with the Economic Brief at 8 p.m. every Thursday on
You're watching DD India Live. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran. Prime Minister Narendra Modi laid the foundation stone and dedicated to the nation multiple development projects in Madhubani, Bihar on the occasion of National Panchayati Raj Day. Addressing a gathering, the Prime Minister said the day celebrates the strength of grassroots governance and the spirit of self-reliance that powers rural India. He said in the last decade, several measures have been taken to empower the panchayats, and the panchayats have been strengthened through technology.
भारत के गांव मजबूत नहीं होंगे तब तक भारत का तेज विकास नहीं हो पाएगा। देश में पंचायती राज की परिकल्पना के पीछे यही भावना है। बीते दशक में पंचायतों को सशक्त करने के लिए एक के बाद एक कदम उठाए गए। टेक्नोलॉजी के माध्यम से भी पंचायतों को मजबूत किया गया। बीते दशक में 2 लाख से ज्यादा ग्राम पंचायतों को इंटरनेट से जोड़ा गया है।
Prime Minister Modi inaugurated the India Steel 2025, the 6th edition of the biennial International Exhibition and Conference via video conferencing on Thursday. Calling steel a primary component in the growth of many sectors, the Prime Minister said the government's policies for the steel industry are playing a crucial role in making many other Indian industries globally competitive. The event brings together leading stakeholders from across the global steel value chain to discuss the future trajectory of the sector with a sharp focus on growth, sustainability, resilience and innovation.
स्टील कितने ही सेक्टर्स की ग्रोथ का प्राइमरी कंपोनेंट है, इसलिए स्टील इंडस्ट्री के लिए सरकार की नीतियां भारत की दूसरी कई इंडस्ट्रीज को ग्लोबली कॉम्पिटिटिव बनाने में अहम रोल अदा कर रही है। हमारा मैन्युफैक्चरिंग सेक्टर, कंस्ट्रक्शन, मशीनरी और ऑटोमोटिव सेक्टर, आज इन सबको भारतीय स्टील इंडस्ट्री से शक्ति मिल रही है। इस बार बजट में हमारी सरकार ने मेक इन इंडिया को गति देने के लिए नेशनल मैन्युफैक्चरिंग मिशन की भी घोषणा की है। ये मिशन स्मॉल, मीडियम और लार्ज सभी इंडस्ट्रीज के लिए है। नेशनल मैन्युफैक्चरिंग मिशन भी हमारी स्टील इंडस्ट्री के लिए नए अवसर खोलेगा।
The European Commission has fined two US tech giants hundreds of millions for violating one of the EU's key laws. The Commission had investigated Apple and Meta for years and is now moving on with a process that has huge economic but also a lot of political impact. Lars Holter is with Deutsche Welle and he joins me from Berlin. Lars, what can you tell us about these fines?
Thanks for having me. Well, they're not exactly impressive fines, even by European standards, and they're not even close to what the future might bring. But let's start with some numbers here. Apple has been fined 500 million euros, and Meta, that's the company behind Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, has been fined 200 million euros. All that for repeatedly violating the EU's Digital Markets Act, which regulates a large online platforms operating in the bloc here. Now, while these fines can still be contested in court, let's look at what happened in either case here. Apple has been fined for preventing app makers from pointing users to cheaper options outside its own app store. And Meta has been fined because it forced Facebook and Instagram users to choose between opening up their data to whatever Meta wants to really do with it and to seeing ads, or paying to avoid all that. Maybe as a bit of background, I should explain the idea of the Digital Markets Act. It's been on the books for a couple of years now, and it's essentially a set of do's and don'ts designed to give consumers and businesses more choice and prevent these so-called big tech gatekeepers from cornering digital markets. The idea being that a handful of companies should not dominate the online marketplace to a point where smaller companies can't even enter to compete.
Now, these fines come at a time when trade relations between the US and the EU are tense. What will this do politically?
Well, I'm afraid this will not please Donald Trump after the whole tariffs game that we've all been witnessing over the past few weeks. This is an escalation in a very different way. The EU not letting US companies get away with unfair business practices any longer. However, it's interesting to note that this comes at a time when some of these tech companies are also looked at in Washington, including most recently Meta, where the Trump administration is looking into forcing Facebook to divest from WhatsApp and or Instagram. So the near unlimited powers these companies have in the online marketplace are apparent to Washington as well. Anyway, the EU has long been thinking about when to get serious about fining companies, and they've waited until most of the tariff spat got out of the way. Brussels was unsure about the timing because when it comes to making a deal with Trump over trade, the EU wants to make sure that the Digital Markets Act is not part of any deal, is not subject to haggling. This law is important to the Commission, and they're making their position clear on how the online business game is supposed to be played in the EU by companies from here as well as abroad.
All right, we'll leave it there. Lars Holter in Berlin, thank you. And that's all for this edition of DD India Live. Let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. You can get the latest news and updates on the DD India mobile app. It's available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code now on your screen to download it. And we'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran. From all of us here in New Delhi, thanks for watching DD India Live.